Hi Leanne, here's the feedback for the reading part of the mock exam that you've done recently. And for question 1 you've scored the full 4 marks, so that's a good start. So if we move on to question 2, where you've been asked to comment on how the writer uses language to describe the effects of the storm. Okay, now you've started off saying the writer uses the location of his home being close to the Pacific Ocean and brings the feeling of the sea and being on a boat to life, and you've given the quote. I'm not sure how relevant that is to the effects of the storm. And then you said he pictured the roaring Pacific Ocean a few blocks from his house, which gives the reader a clear vision in their head of a cold, wet storm, a storm that is out of control and wild. Again, I'm not sure that that quote, he pictured the roaring Pacific Ocean, gives you that impression. It's this bit further on that does. So you said wind lashing the trees suggests that the wind is strong, furious waves, again pointing to the immense power that nature has. And this, along with the previous description of Alex's dream, all points to how helpless the boy is and how nature cannot be stopped, and neither can his mother's illness. And then this bit isn't really relevant to the effects of the storm. To get higher marks, you need to zoom in on particular words and say what they are, because you've not really commented too much on terminology apart from complex sentences down there. So you could have said the verb lashing, or the wind's lashing the trees, does suggest that the wind is strong, but you could have said that it sounds like it's whipping the trees around and beating them onto the ground, and the furious waves suggests that the sea is angry and aggressive and really pounding on the shore. But if we have a look at the mark scheme for this question, so you've done some attempts to comment on the effect of the language. Some of your quotes are appropriate, but unfortunately you've not really made use of the terminology other than, as I said, saying complex sentences and descriptive information. So I think it's going to be 3 out of the possible 4 marks for this question. Moving on to question 3, where you've been asked to comment on how the text is structured to interest you as a reader. You've started off saying that the story is based around the boy's mother from start to end, and then you said at first its focus is on Alex's nightmare, and you've given us a quote there stating it's clearly worried about his mum and he feels helpless. You then say it moves on to his father and how hopeless he is at home life, including cooking, and his ability to care for the 2 younger sisters. Could have done with a quote in there. And then you said Alex was angry with his father, his sister's life in general, even his mother for getting sick. And you said that he appears to be bottling up his emotions and struggling. And then you said the final paragraph softens and describes how affectionate and loving his mother had been. And again, we could have done with the quote in there. You then said he uses the similar